The Lover's Hill, inspired and narrated from The Two Lovers by Marie de France. Narrator, Krystin Vesterälen. Illuminator, Aurélie, Vétro. Translation, Françoise Savereux. Reading by Françoise Savereux. Once upon a time was a hill where two lovers were buried, together in life, together in death. The king of the city of Pistres was famous for the attention he gave his people. The king had a daughter of a true beauty. He felt tender love for his daughter. Many of his counselors suggested, after the death of the queen, for him to remarry. He refused every time. Being afraid to see his daughter loved by someone else than him, he then stated, "Any man who wants to marry my daughter will, in his arms, have to carry her to the top of the hill. The pretender will not be able to stop and rest." Numerous princes, lords, sons of the bourgeoisie, weavers, farmers took a chance without being able to reach the top of the hill. They stopped halfway, exhausted, out of breath. They had to return home, and the princess stayed unmarried for a long time. You may understand, dear readers, that no more young man wanted to attempt the adventure. There was the son of the earl of the neighbor country, who loved truly and dearly the princess. She felt the same. The king would have gone mad if he had heard about his daughter's love affair. One day the young man came to see his loved one at her apartments and announced, "We cannot hide anymore. I want to be your spouse." "You're not serious about that," replied the young lady with a scared voice. "My father would insist on you to go for that damn test, and you, not being able to refuse, would accept. The fact is you will not have enough strength to carry me to the top of the hill." The princess cried a lot at the thought of her father's anger and of her friend's disappearance. When she had stopped crying, she remembered an aunt who lived in Salerns. "She knows the powers of plants and herbs. Go and meet her and ask for a potion. She will mix a variety of plants with honey that will give you strength." Listening to the beauty's advice, the young man left for Salerns. On his fine horse, he galloped day and night, not to waste time. Reaching his destination, he went to see the connoisseur in remedy. "Your niece sends her best regards and our petition to help us become joined in marriage." The aunt prepared a beverage in a cauldron that will strengthen him. "Take this fuel. Drink some as soon as you are exhausted and worn out, and the strength in your body will come back, your veins will inflate, and your bones will harden." After drinking some potion and the fuel in hand, he returned to his beloved. At Pistres, he went to meet the king to make his proposal. "I dissuade you," says the king in a sad voice. "I appreciate you too much to see you leave my court in the end. Forget this request and stay here. My lord, I love your daughter and want her to become my spouse. So be it. If I cannot change your mind, you will have to carry my daughter in your arms to the top of the hill. If you stop before the summit, you will leave the country and you will never see my daughter again." That day was unusual. The king called all his court, his counselors, his soldiers, his household, subjects, and harangued. "Here is the one who will have to carry my daughter to the top of the hill. If he does not succeed, he will be banished from the kingdom, and will see the princess never again." As for the princess, She refused to eat during several days. She said to her maid, "That way I will be lighter to be carried." Everyone waited for the arrival of the princess. She was lightly dressed. "That way," she whispered, "my friend won't have to carry the weight of my clothing." At the edge of the big river, in the middle of the meadow surrounding the hill, arrived the princess. Everybody envied the young man, for all were in love with the beautiful young lady. The lover took his beauty in his arms and started to walk across the meadow. Then he started to climb up the hill. He was halfway there. Having so much joy holding his lady in his arms, he had forgotten to drink his beverage. Suddenly he felt the weakness assailing him. "My dear friend, drink some of your beverage. I feel you are going weak." "I'm too happy to take a break. Taking time to drink the potion, and they all would laugh at us. I don't want to stop here. I keep going as long as I have some strength." There was just a small distance left when the young man stumbled and fell down. "You're weak, my friend. The beverage will energize you." "Nay, I don't want to stop, for I love your company too much." At the summit, exhausted, he fell, and his breathing stopped. "Wake up, my friend. Take your beverage." Nothing would help. Understanding he would never hold her tightly in his arms again, with anger, she threw away the phial, which shattered against the rock, and spilled the beverage on the hill. Since then, we can find there a multitude of beneficial plants and herbs. As for the princess, she cried out, "Hold her sadness," laid by her lover and curled up against him, and with sorrow fell asleep forever. Seeing there was not coming back, the king and everyone else went looking for them, and found them embracing each other and forever together in death. They were buried on the spot of their mortal union.